Living uplifted isn't about feeling good all the time. It isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring the hard parts of your day. It's about how you treat yourself when you don't feel good. And most people never stop to define that. We assume living better means doing more. But what if the way we've been taught to grow is actually the thing that's breaking us? Today, for our season 1 finale, we are redefining what it means to grow without burning out. We're moving from pressure to clarity. Hello and welcome to Uplifted Living, the podcast for living uplifted. I'm Nick Gilbert, and I'm especially grateful you're here today. Whether this is your first episode or you've been listening throughout the season, this space exists to explore growth, clarity, and intentional living without the pressure to rush, perform, or become someone you're not. Today's episode is a reflection on what it really means to live uplifted. Let's begin. Welcome back. If you've been with us through this season of the Uplifted Living podcast, you know we've covered a lot of ground, from the trust battery to confidence receipts. But today, I want to tie it all together. When people hear phrases like personal growth or self-improvement, they often imagine pressure, more discipline, more effort, more fixing. They assume growth means becoming someone else, someone more productive, more motivated, someone who never hits the snooze button. And quietly, that idea becomes exhausting, because if growth always asks more of you, eventually you start resisting it. Not because you don't want to grow, but because you're tired of being at war with yourself. We live in a culture that tells us we are projects to be managed. We treat ourselves like broken machines that need constant optimization. But here's the truth we often miss. You cannot shame yourself into sustainable change. Think about the metaphor we used earlier this season, the GPS. When you miss a turn while driving, the GPS doesn't scream at you. It doesn't say, "I can't believe you missed that turn. You're a terrible driver. We're never going to make it." It simply says, recalculating. It assesses where you are right now and finds the best route forward from there. But when we try to fix our lives, we rarely offer ourselves that same grace. We miss a workout or we have a messy week, and instead of recalculating, we spiral. We treat a lack of energy as a character flaw. If you felt resistance to your own goals lately, ask yourself this: are you trying to improve your life, or are you trying to outrun your current self? Because those are two very different energies. One is fuel, the other is just friction. Growth that requires you to abandon yourself is not growth. It's performance, and performance has a heavy tax. It costs you your peace. If you've listened to this season from the beginning, you've probably recognized pieces of yourself along the way. Maybe you felt overloaded instead of lazy. Maybe you felt burned out instead of unmotivated. Maybe you've been inconsistent, not because you don't care, but because the system you built never actually fit your life. I've lived those seasons too. I spent years trying to optimize everything, trying to fix everything at once, trying to rush toward a better version of myself because I didn't really like the current version. And all it did was create pressure where clarity was needed. We talk about the trust battery often. Every time you make a promise to yourself and break it, that battery drains. But we usually break those promises because they were too big, too rigid, or too punishing to begin with. We try to charge the battery by force, but you can't force trust. You build it gently. So if you're feeling stuck right now, it's likely not a discipline problem. It's a design problem. You are trying to build a life using blueprints that don't account for your humanity. Here's the shift that brings everything together. The definition of living uplifted is not about doing more. It's about relating to yourself differently. It's choosing 3 specific things. First, clarity over noise. Clarity isn't about having a 10-year plan. It's about knowing what matters today It's about cutting through the noise of the what you should do to hear the signal of what you need to do. It's asking, does this choice support the life I want or just the image I'm trying to project? Second, integrity over intensity. We love intensity. We love the 4 a.m. starts and the radical overhauls, but intensity is often a trap. It burns hot and fast. Integrity is different. Integrity means wholeness. It means your actions match your values, even when no one is watching, even when it's small. And third, sustainability over speed. This is the most critical one. If the pace you are keeping right now is hurting you, it is not sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, it isn't success. It's just a loan you've taken out against your future self. Living uplifted means choosing growth that supports your life, not growth that consumes it. It means asking, can I keep this up for 10 years? If the answer is no, then we need to slow down. Not to stop, but to ensure we can actually finish the race. So what does this actually look like in practice? Living uplifted doesn't look dramatic. It's not a movie montage. It looks like making smaller promises and actually keeping them. It looks like returning after you fall off without shame. It looks like trusting your own pace instead of borrowing someone else's. It looks like protecting your attention in a distracted world. It's the quiet collection of what we call confidence receipts. Every time you set a boundary, every time you choose rest over guilt, you print a receipt. You prove to yourself that you are on your own team. It's not flashy, but it's grounding. And over time, it creates a quiet confidence that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. If this season has supported you in any way, I invite you to subscribe. Not just so you don't miss season 2, but so this space can continue being a place for clarity, not pressure, in your feed. Here's what I hope you take with you from this finale. You don't need to fix yourself to move forward. You don't need to hurry to be worthy of rest, peace, or presence. You are allowed to grow at a pace that lets you stay connected to your life as it's happening. Growth doesn't disappear when you slow down. It deepens. Instead of waking up tomorrow and asking, what should I be doing next? Try asking, what would an uplifted version of my life look like right now in this season? Not forever, not perfectly, right now. Let that question guide your choices gently. Let it shape your habits, your boundaries, your margin. That's how growth becomes lived, not chased. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to stop abandoning yourself on the way to becoming who you already are. If this episode resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who is trying to live uplifted. Also, be sure to follow the Instagram page at Uplifted Living Podcast. I'll leave the link in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and continue to uplift both yourself and those around you. Thank you for listening.